DCI Stephen Jennings, when did this case reignite, so to speak?
Yeah, I mean, no unsolved case is ever filed, is ever closed. We're always reviewing cases to try and look at how things are developed. This case we did review at early part of this year and on the back end of last year, really to see if there's any other opportunities that we could explore, looking at the developments in forensic science. So that's what we did, and we got lucky. We managed to get a result. So we then worked our way through it, identified where Mr. Clark was, and then kind of formulated a process of how we were going to best approach Yolande in such a way that wasn't going to cause her too much stress, but realising that we were fully on board, that we'd support her, and that we want to get successful prosecution.
And these are key skills that your department had. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, absolutely. The cold case team in Essex, that's what we do. We review those cases that are filed but never closed, and they have the skills to be able to analyse that and to really look and take some advice from the experts about the best way that we could really support Yolande through this process.
And then did you travel up to interview the man who's now guilty, Mr. Clark?
We did, yeah. I mean, because it was a 30-year-old case, there was very limited information to hand, so we were very much reliant on what Yolande could tell us. So via local police in America, we managed to get that support in, make that contact with Yolande, who then supplied us with all the evidence we needed. As you can imagine, knew every detail and remembered every detail about what took place on that day in September. And then we approached Mr. Clark, we interviewed him, and then we got to a point where we built such a case that he had no other choice really than to plead guilty.
You don't want to use too many crude terms, but today is a very significant day and a very successful day in many ways, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's always very rewarding that we can help victims, particularly victims of sexual crime. I think the support that we have these days is so much better. We're in a better place. We have other departments, we have partnerships with various other communities that we'll be able to support people like Yolande to be able to come forward and really help us in doing what we should. And that's putting the victims at the heart of our investigations, and also to identify and prosecute offenders.
And my website's called Your Thurrock, so from anybody from Averley to Fobbing who lives in Thurrock, who something bad may have happened to them, do you encourage them to come forward?
Definitely. We as I say, the victims at the heart of everything we do, not just what they can supply us with evidence for, that we're now much better equipped to be able to put that support network in place, and just making it aware that it's a difficult time for any victim to come forward and report a crime. But my kind of reassurance to them is that you will get the same support as anyone else would get, and we would hopefully be able to help you through this process, really to try and get you some sort of closure.